They say the perfect employee never questions their place. But what happens when your place never existed? I've been making this commute for 5 years. Same route, same coffee shop, same 15-minute walk to the Meridian building. Today feels different though. Today's the day I finally get that promotion. Sarah, from HR, practically confirmed it last week. Big changes coming, she said with that knowing smile. The morning air is crisp, perfect for a celebration lunch later. I can already taste the champagne. 5 years of 60-hour weeks. 5 years of being the first one in and last one out. It's finally paying off. I push through the glass doors of the lobby, nodding to Marcus behind the security desk. He's been here since I started, gruff guy. But we have our routine. Coffee stain on his uniform, always reading the sports section. But Marcus doesn't look up, doesn't give me his usual grunt of acknowledgement. Instead, he calls out, "Excuse me, sir. You'll need to sign in." I stop mid-stride. Sign in? I laugh, pulling out my ID badge. "Marcus, it's me. Alex. Come on." He looks at me blankly, then at the badge in my hand. His expression doesn't change. "I'm sorry, but I don't recognize you. Company policy. All visitors need to sign in and get a temporary badge." "Nay. Visitor?" My chest tightens slightly. "I work here. I've worked here for 5 years. Meridian Financial, 15th floor." I tap the badge against his desk. "This is my building ID." Marcus examines the badge more closely, frowning. "This looks legitimate, but..." He trails off, then reaches for his computer. "What did you say your name was?" "Alex Morrison, employee ID 401847. The numbers roll off my tongue automatically. I've typed them 1,000 times. Haven't I? He types slowly, hunting and pecking. I resist the urge to tell him to hurry up. Finally, he looks up. "I'm not finding you in the system." "Are you sure you have the right building?" "Not in the system. That's impossible. I got my last paycheck deposited Friday. I have meetings scheduled today. Thompson wants the quarterly reports by noon. At least, I think he does." The memory feels solid, but something about it wavers when I focus too hard. "Look, maybe your system is down or something," I say, forcing a smile. "I really need to get upstairs. I have a presentation to prep for." Marcus hesitates, then shrugs. "Well, the badge looks real enough. But next time, make sure you're in the system, okay?" I nod quickly and head for the elevators, my heart beating a little faster than it should. New security protocols, maybe. Or Marcus is having an off day. People forget things, though I can't remember him ever forgetting me before. Can't remember him ever not knowing exactly who I am. But as I wait for the elevator, I catch myself glancing back at the security desk. Marcus is watching me with this puzzled expression, like he's trying to solve a riddle, like I'm a stranger he's never seen before. The elevator dings. I step inside and press 15. Everything's fine. 5 years of perfect attendance, stellar reviews, and a promotion waiting for me. Marcus just had a brain fog moment. Still, my reflection in the elevator doors looks uncertain, almost like a stranger's. The elevator opens to the familiar buzz of the 15th floor. The carpet, the motivational posters, the smell of burnt coffee from the break room. Everything exactly as it should be. I walk toward my desk, ready to laugh about Marcus's confusion with Janet from accounting. But Janet isn't at her desk. Instead, there's a woman I've never seen before, blonde hair in a tight bun, typing furiously. She looks up as I pass. "Good morning," she says brightly. "Are you the new hire?" "I'm Jessica." "New hire?" My stomach drops. "I'm Alex Morrison," I say slowly. "I sit right over there." I point to my desk, except it's not my desk anymore. There's a different nameplate, David Chen. My family photo is gone. My coffee mug with the chip on the handle, gone. A stranger's belongings fill the space where mine should be. Where mine were. Weren't they? "Oh." Jessica's face lights up. "You must be Alex. Mr. Peterson told us you'd be starting today. Welcome to the team." Starting today. The words feel like ice water in my veins. My hands start to shake slightly. No, you don't understand. I've worked here for 5 years. That's my desk. Where are my things? Jessica's smile falters. I'm sorry, but I've been here 3 years, and I've never seen you before. David sits at that desk. He's been here since I started. Nay, that's impossible. My voice cracks. I trained you on the Morrison account. Remember, you spilled coffee on my keyboard? The memory is crystal clear. Her embarrassed face, my ruined keyboard, the way we laughed about it later. Morrison account? She looks genuinely confused. We don't have a Morrison account. Are you feeling okay? My legs feel unsteady. The fluorescent lights seem too bright suddenly. This has to be some kind of elaborate prank. Where's Peterson's office? I need to speak with him. Waiting. Down the hall, same as always, she says, but her tone has shifted. Concerned, like she's talking to someone who might be dangerous. I walk past cubicles filled with faces I should recognize, but they all look at me like I'm a stranger. Tom from it waves uncertainly, not the familiar nod we usually share. Linda from reception gives me a polite but distant smile, not the warm greeting of someone who's seen me every day for years. Am I losing my mind? Peterson's door is open. He's on the phone, but he gestures for me to come in. I'll call you back, he says into the receiver. Alex, good to finally meet you in person. Have a seat. Finally meet me? My chest tightens. Sir, I think there's been some confusion. No confusion at all. He stands up, extending his hand. Welcome to Meridian Financial. I know Sarah went over most of this during your interview, but let me give you the official tour. Everyone's excited to have you aboard. Naylor. I shake his hand automatically, my brain struggling to process. His grip feels familiar, but his words are all wrong. Mr. Peterson, I've worked for you for 5 years. I've been in your office dozens of times. You gave me a performance review last month. Wow. His smile becomes strained. Alex, I think you might be confused. Today is your first day. Sarah hired you last week. Excellent references, by the way. Now, why don't we get you settled and introduce you to the team? The room tilts slightly. Am I having a stroke? A breakdown? My ID badge, I stammer, pulling it out. Employee number 401847, check your records. Peterson glances at the badge, frowns, then opens his computer. After a moment, he looks up. That's odd. This number isn't in our system. Must be a clerical error. We'll get you a proper one made today. Not in the system. Again. Everything I know about my life, my job, my desk, my relationships with these people, it's like it never existed. This isn't real. This can't be real. I stumble toward what used to be my desk, my vision blurring. David Chen's nameplate mocks me. David Chen, who apparently has my job, my life, my well. You okay there? A voice behind me. I turn to see Sarah from HR, but her expression isn't the warm familiarity I expect. It's professional concern. The look you give a stranger who might be having a breakdown. Sarah, I gasp. Please, you know me. You hired me 5 years ago. Tell them. She tilts her head, studying my face like she's trying to place me. Alex, right? Look, first days are always overwhelming. Why don't we go to my office and get you sorted out? First day. In her office, Sarah pulls out a file with my name on it. My name, but everything's wrong. This says I started today, I whisper, my hands trembling as I read. That's right. We're so glad you accepted the position. She opens the file and I see a resume. My education, my previous jobs before Meridian, but the employment history stops 5 years ago. Everything after that is blank, like I vanished from existence. Where are my performance reviews? My voice is barely audible. My projects? The Henderson merger I led? Henderson merger? Sarah looks confused. David handled that. Brilliant work, actually. One of our best employees. She pulls out another file, David Chen's. Inside are performance reviews dated over the past 5 years. Projects I remember doing. Clients I remember calling. My work. My achievements. But David's photo is on every document. No, 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 no. I grab the file, hands shaking violently now. There's a photo clipped to the inside. A company picnic from 2 years ago. I remember that day. I remember the barbecue, the terrible karaoke, Janet's husband getting too drunk. But in the photo where I should be standing next to Peterson, there's David Chen. Same pose, same smile I remember having. Same memories. This is wrong, I breathe. This is all wrong. Sarah gently takes the file back. Alex, I think you might be experiencing some confusion. It happens more than you'd think. New job stress? Maybe some memory issues? We have excellent healthcare coverage. Memory issues? The words echo in my skull. I fumble for my wallet, pull out my driver's license with shaking fingers. Alexander Morrison. Same address I've had for 8 years. But there's something else. An old company ID card stuck behind my credit cards. I've forgotten it was there. When did I put it there? Why don't I remember? I pull it out with trembling fingers. It's a Meridian financial ID, but the photo isn't quite right. Same name, Alex Morrison, but the face is different. Similar, but not mine. Broader jaw, different eyes. The employee number, 4847. The same number I've been reciting all morning. Where did you get this? Sarah asks, taking the old card. I don't know. God, I don't know. It was in my wallet. She examines it carefully. This is interesting. We did have an Alex Morrison here before. He left about 6 months ago. Family emergency. Moved across the country. Odd that you have the same name. Same name. Different face. Same memories. What did he look like? I whisper. Sarah pulls out her phone, scrolls through photos. Here, from the Christmas party. She shows me the screen. It's me, but it's not me. The man in the photo has my memories, my relationships with these people, my job. But he's someone else entirely. A different person wearing my life like a costume. We were so sorry to lose him, Sarah continues. But when we saw your application, it felt like fate. Same name, similar background, even the same employee number by coincidence. Like he was meant to be replaced. No, I'm in Terwa. Replaced. The room spins. I have his memories, his relationships, his life, his work, his achievements, his 5 years of history in this building. But who am I? Who was I before I became him? I sit at the desk they've assigned me. Not my old desk, but close enough. The nameplate reads Alex Morrison in fresh, crisp letters. My new badge dangles from a lanyard, employee number 4851. Close, but not quite right. Who was I before I became him? The question floats through my mind as I type familiar reports, make calls to clients who greet me warmly, but treat me like we're just getting acquainted. My fingers know the keyboard shortcuts, the database passwords, the company procedures. The knowledge feels borrowed, like wearing someone else's clothes that fit perfectly but smell like a stranger. How's your first week going? Jessica asks, stopping by with coffee. It's Friday now, though the days have blurred together in a haze of borrowed competence. Fine, I manage. Everyone's been very welcoming. That's great. You know, you remind me so much of the previous Alex. Same mannerisms, same way of organizing your desk. It's uncanny. Yee. Uncanny. The word lodges in my throat like a stone. Did you know him well? I ask carefully. Not really. He kept to himself mostly. But he did the same job you're doing now. Same way you're doing it. Like you two were cut from the same cloth. She laughs, not noticing how my hands have stopped typing. Even the same little habits, the way you tap your pen when you're thinking, how you organize your files. It's like he never left. After she leaves, I open my desk drawer, the one that feels familiar despite never having used it before. Inside, tucked behind some office supplies, is a post-it note. The handwriting is definitely mine, though I don't remember writing it. They don't remember the real you, but you remember them. Why? My blood runs cold. When did I write this? This morning. Yesterday? Before I started working here. Before I became Alex Morrison II? I crumple the note, then smooth it out again. The handwriting analysis part of my brain, a skill I apparently have, confirms it's mine. But I have no memory of the doubt, the fear, the desperation that must have driven me to write it. Maybe that's how it works. The transition erases itself, leaves only echoes and fragments. Just enough confusion to keep you questioning, never enough proof to break free. The perfect employee doesn't ask too many questions about their past. Morrison. Peterson calls from his office. Can you bring me the Hendricks file? Coming. I call back, and I know exactly where the file is, exactly how Peterson likes his reports formatted, exactly what he'll say about the quarterly projections. I know because the other Alex knew. Because somehow, I inherited not just his job and his relationships, but his memories of this place. All of them, except the most important one. Who he really was before he became the perfect employee. Who I really was. As I walk toward Peterson's office, I notice something that makes me freeze. Near the elevator, Sarah is talking to a man I don't recognize. He looks confused, agitated, clutching what appears to be an ID badge. His voice carries just enough for me to catch fragments. Worked here for 3 years. Nobody remembers me. Shannon. My desk is gone. Sarah's response is patient, professional. First day nerves are completely normal. Let's get you settled in. I watch them disappear into the HR office, and for a moment, I consider following. Warning him. Telling him what I've figured out. But what would I say? That he's about to become someone else? That his memories will be redistributed, his identity recycled? That somewhere in this building there's probably a file with his name on it, and someone else's photo? That it's not so bad once you stop fighting it? Instead, I deliver the file to Peterson, smile when he compliments my work, and return to my desk. My borrowed desk with my borrowed life and my borrowed memories. Somewhere in the building, another Alex Morrison is learning to disappear. And I'm learning to be perfectly content with that.